We've got 3-week-old Australian Labradoodle puppies. They're orphans, and in today's video we're going to show you all the different ways we satisfy that absolute compulsion to suckle. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and these are our puppies from our Rainforest Warriors litter. These puppies lost their mom when they were exactly 1 week old. 2 weeks ago, so they have spent now 2/3 of their life without their mom. They're all gaining weight, they're all doing well, and today we're going to talk about just exactly what they're eating, how often they eat, what this contraption is that they are nursing off of on the floor, and why this one has a pacifier. So the puppies this week have made some great strides. They have become more like dogs. They're moving around really well. They're very confident on 4 legs now. And as you can see with this little device we have here, they're able to nurse independently. So what is this thing? I don't know that it has an actual official name. This is one of the original types of artificial milkers for puppies, and it was developed in France. So it's made out of surgical grade, I think it's latex, I can't remember now to be honest, but in any event, it's surgical grade, and it's open in the top here so we can put the formula in, and then there's the 4 nipples for the puppies to nurse off of. The nipples were made from a mold of a dog's nipples so that it most closely resembles nursing with mom. Now obviously there's no fur there, but it's still got the sort of a feel of or the texture of skin. And the puppies can smell that there's formula in there, and the clever ones go right away and nurse. Over here we've got Silver Collar. He's already filled himself right up, and so he's voluntarily stopped eating. Now this is one thing, is that puppies will not overfeed themselves when they're nursing. So when they're nursing from mom or this type of thing, they will stop when they're full. Whereas when we tube feed them, we have to do a mathematical calculation to figure out what their stomach capacity is, what the right amount of kcals are for their weight, and then divide it by the number of times we feed them during the day to determine how much they should be fed. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in more detail just a little later in the video. So when we tube feed, we're the ones who are, oh sorry, I said this was Silver, that's Burgundy, my mistake. When we tube feed, we're the ones who are in charge of how much is going in the puppy's stomach, not the puppy. The puppy's not able to tell us, hey, stop, I'm full. The puppy, we have to do this mathematical equation, and then we have to use our hands to feel their tummies to make sure we're not overfeeding them. Now you see it's a little bit tricky sometimes to get them going on this. That was Purple. He knew what he wanted to do. He knew where he wanted to go, but he still does a lot of balking when I try to actually show him where the nipple is and how to get onto the nipple. So they're doing pretty well with that. Purple, pink, silver, green are the biggest fans of this. Burgundy's just learned it today. You can see Burgundy is obviously full. He's showing you his massively wide stomach now to show you that, yeah, I had enough. I don't even think I can lie on top of my stomach. And in my lap is Yellow Collar. Yellow Collar is one of the most voracious puppies in terms of desire to suckle. He is always trying to suck off of his other litter mates in all sorts of parts on their body, which is not good for him or them. We have the pacifier here. He sort of likes it, but not really. but he absolutely refuses to use the milker. It's really too bad because not only does this provide them with nutritional value, but the main thing it's doing is providing them with emotional value. So you can imagine if you're a puppy and you have no way of comprehending what's going on in your life, that your instinct is you must suckle. That's how you sustain yourself. And so that instinct for survival is the strongest one that you have. And so you find anything and everything that you can put in your mouth to put into your mouth, no matter what it is. But all of your nutrition is coming from a tube going down your stomach. And it's very complicated and difficult for a puppy to associate a tube going down their throat with their nutritional needs being met. So it's a complicated mental gymnastics for the puppy, and this little milker here plus the pacifier helps to connect everything together for them. So these puppies were all tube fed just before we started shooting the video, and we do not tube feed them to the maximum capacity that they have. So we have a new vet because we've moved, and our new vet is probably not quite as experienced as our vet in Cobble Hill, particularly not when it comes to puppies per se. She's very good. She's from the US, and in the US there are many protocols that are widely accepted there that are not here. So for instance, when we have Cooxididia, which is a parasite that comes from rabbit poo and often happens with the puppies because we're always in a rural location and so we always have rabbits in our backyard, puppies often get Cooxididia. It's a rather quick fix. It can be fatal when a puppy's very young, but it's generally nothing end of the world. So if you are from the US, the general go-to approach for that is a sulfa drug. Whereas here in Canada, we don't use sulfa drugs very often, and normally only in circumstances where there's an infection or a parasite that's fairly severe. Certainly not for something that is as commonplace as Cooxididia. So our previous vet and I, we devised a solution to Cooxididia that was the best for the puppies and their young immune systems and developing organs. And we used a drug called Chlorpalm. It has some drawbacks in terms of humans. It can be fatal for humans for a few of them, so we had to get that sorted out. But it's really, really good for the puppies, and it also solves the problem of Cooxididia within usually 2 days. Whereas the sulfa drugs are harder on their systems, can have an impact long-term on their developing organs. It also takes longer for it to get rid of the Cooxididia parasite. And similarly, you can use Clavamox. Clavamox is what usually is prescribed for puppies, especially neonates, because it treats almost everything. It's amoxicillin. It's very benign. It doesn't have any long-term impacts, and it's fairly quick at resolving issues. When it comes to Cooxididia, it tends to take about 4 days for the puppy to fully recover. For me, that's not really what I'm looking for. When you have a very young puppy, 4 days of them being a little bit dumpy, a little bit down, is a lifetime. Puppies you could lose like that very, very fast because there's not much to them. They don't have any reserves, and obviously they're just not very big. So I'm looking for a faster solution. Anyways, that's just an example of the sort of differences between our vets. So when Purple was a little bit dumpy and we took him in, this new vet felt that we should move from the formula that we are using to a commercially prepared formula. She also felt that the amounts we were feeding were too much and probably part of the reason why Purple had some aspiration pneumonia. So we've used this formula for years and years and years with many, many puppies under many different circumstances. Oftentimes we'll have a litter that has a mom and everything's going along just great, but we'll have a puppy who maybe isn't gaining quite like we would like to see them gaining, maybe a puppy who's a bit smaller, so on and so forth. So then we'll tube feed them a couple of times during the day to help support them and get them caught up to the rest of the litter. So it's definitely something we're really familiar with doing. Yes, it does require skill. It is something you have to be taught how to do by a vet or a vet tech. And you do have to be very careful when you're doing it that you do it correctly. But Reynolds been doing it, as I said, for many, many years, for many, many puppies. We've never had an issue. We've always followed the amounts that are on the chart developed by the person who developed the formula that we use. And we've never used a commercial formula. So why don't we use a commercial formula? Well, the commercial formula is probably similar to what a human baby formula is made out of. A lot of synthetics, a lot of things that aren't natural. So the Espalac is full of things that I don't want going into my puppies' bodies. This I like going into their bodies. It's condensed milk, an egg yolk, corn syrup, not so keen on that one, but they do need that, sterile water, and evaporated milk. So I'm good, and yogurt, high-fat yogurt. I'm good with that because those are all good, natural, good for you ingredients, and they're very close to what mother's milk is. So the vet thought that maybe we weren't getting their kcals up, and on and on and on. And I can tell you from being so extremely sleep deprived, when she was telling me this, I was nodding my head and thinking, oh yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to do what she said. And I got Reynolds to order some Espalac for us. And we were about to revamp everything that we had done for the past 15, 16 years. Fortunately, I got my head together, and Reynolds pointed out to me that, we have done this so many times and we've had a lot of problems with Espalac. What happens with the Espalac is the puppies get a lot more poop. So the nutrition just goes right through them. So one of the things we didn't know, or I didn't know off the top of my head when I was at the vet office, was how many kcals is in our formula. So it's 1.12 per mil. Espalac is 0.9. So obviously this has more kcals. We're feeding the puppies based on their caloric needs, and that's what's the most important thing. Now, I'll be completely honest and say their weight gains are not where I would like them to be. I would like them to be much more. But if you look at these puppies, you can see yourself. They all have lovely, round, full tummies. They all have beautiful, shiny coats. Right now they don't look like they have any energy, but I can tell you they all have really good energy. They're happy, they're not crying, they're not fussy. So I'm just trusting my hands and my eyes. And even though the numbers are not telling me what I want to see, my hands and my eyes are telling me everything is fine. Regardless of what you could write down for a weight or all sorts of various formulas you can come up with to compute whether a puppy is healthy or not, your eyes are going to tell you more information than anything else. If they are not healthy, it's really obvious. So when Purple wasn't feeling well, it was really clear. He was not energetic like everyone else. He was off by himself. He was sleeping way more. When we woke him up, he was kind of not holding his head up. You just know. Now, we've been doing this for 44 years now. We've seen a lot of puppies, so it's something that we're really familiar with, and we can catch pretty fast when a puppy's not feeling well. So, yep, Purple had a little bit of aspiration and pneumonia. So obviously we were doing something that was causing him an issue, and we wanted to be sure we didn't cause that problem for anyone else. We've never ever had this happen before. So what we've done is we've reduced the amount that we're feeding. So if the formula tells us to feed 40 mils each feeding, we've cut that back to 38. Now, I've used AI to help me with all of these calculations. I've told AI that a puppy at this age's stomach capacity is 50 mils per kilogram of body weight, and that I want to be at 90% of maximum stomach capacity. Then I give it what the formula suggests I should be feeding per their weight chart and ask it to calculate how much I should feed. I also tell it how many times a day I'm feeding. So up until today, we've been feeding the puppies 8 times a day. So every 3 hours we've been up feeding them. Feeding them takes up until now about a half an hour. Now it takes about an hour, and that's because after every feeding we give them the milker here, mostly to satisfy their desire to suckle, but because they don't get a whole ton of food out of here, but also so they can tank themselves up to where they're comfortable. So that way we know we are definitely not exceeding their stomach capacity, and provided we don't do that, we don't have the risk of the aspiration pneumonia. And if they're still hungry, they can go ahead and top up here. The other thing, and we're going to do at the end of the video, is show you their solid food, because we started introducing solid food yesterday. And right now solid food just consists of goat's milk mixed with the formula and pablum and a little bit of pumpkin. And normally we wouldn't have started introducing the solid food to them until next week, but because they are orphaned, we do want to, and because they're not got the gains that I would normally see, I want to start offering it to them if they feel they're ready. So we offer it, and you'll see when we show it to you in the video, some of them are really keen, figure it out, and go right for it. Red Collar Girl in particular really enjoys it. Others are not interested in it. It's similar to how Yellow Collar probably has the strongest desire to suckle, but absolutely refuses, no matter what I do and how many times I've tried so far, to take the milker. Now probably Taylor will come this week and she'll put him on, and first time he'll go on. But for me, he's not doing it. So instead we're giving him the pacifier. So these are preemie pacifiers that I ordered. All we do is we sterilize them, and for the puppies who are not on the milker and showing us they need to suckle, such as Yellow, then we put one of these in their mouths. We hold them like I am Yellow here, and let them get it that way. They don't get any nutrition obviously from this, but it does satisfy that need to be suckling. So the other thing we've done to provide them with a bit more of experience that's closer to what they would have normally is the rolled up towel that we have in their bed there. So you'll see they have a quote-unquote bed. That's actually a crepe mat. That's there because it has a different texture from the pee pads. So we want them to be learning that we don't pee and poo here, we pee and poo over here. And they have. Amazing. They're 3 weeks old, and they've already learned, and they've known for quite some time now, that this isn't where we go to the bathroom. We get up and we walk away from it. So we'll usually find a lot of pee right here because they're kind of dozy when they wake up. They can't hold it for more than a couple of seconds. But when they have to go poop, they move over more to where I'm sitting, or one of the other corners. And so it's really good. They've already got that sorted out. They all sleep together usually in the bed, although Orange Collar often is out like he is right now. He is a very independent spirit, and you'll find him on his own quite frequently. Now the towel, you can see Burgundy's using it as a pillow. The towel is wrapped around one of our caterpillars. The caterpillar is the toy that goes in everybody's puppy starter kit and is always a favorite of the puppies. That's one of the things about the puppy starter kit, is you always get the toys that the puppies really enjoy and are going to benefit from. So the towel has got several spots that were soaked in formula and then wrapped up around the caterpillar, and that allows them to smell the formula. It mimics the smell of a milk bar. It is the same shape as a milk bar, and it makes them feel like they're snuggling up with a mom. And they also will do a little bit of suckling on the towel itself, particularly if they're waiting for a turn here at the milker. Now Purple is going on and on like he still wants to have his something in his mouth, so I'm gonna put him back over here, remind him of the thing being here, see if he wants it. And he's saying, "Excuse me, lady, I already had this." Oh well, maybe, okay, just to make you happy. Silver's thinking he's maybe done. Green and Pink have fallen asleep on the milker, which is what they would do if Rayne were here with them. They would fall asleep at the milk bar quite regularly, and then their litter mate would come along and knock them off and have their turn. So those are the things we've done to mimic as best we can what it would be under normal circumstances, and to make sure that all of their emotional and their physical needs are being met. Now this towel also serves another function. It is a natural problem solver, or problem creator for them to solve. They have to figure out how to negotiate their way from one side to the other or around it when they want to get over here to go to the bathroom or to the milker or their pablum, whatever it is they want to do. So that is something as well that we are starting with the puppies. Same as sometimes as I'll leave the paper towel roll here and they have to negotiate it. This one moves, and so they have to deal with the fact that they have something moving that's not expected. And that brings me to desensitization. Because we are at week 3, this is a really exciting and important time for your puppy, because this is when we begin socialization. Step 1 of socialization is desensitization. That's what we are primarily responsible for as your Labradoodle puppy breeder. So what that means is, now that they can all hear, all their ears are open, is we start exposing them to things that are slightly unexpected and show them that they're all things that you don't need to be worried about. So that's as simple as sometimes banging on here. You'll notice how nobody has any reaction. Clapping. Right now we're just clapping at a fairly low volume. It gets their attention, some of them. Otherwise, they're just sleeping through it. Nothing's bothering them. We don't have their TV set up yet, but we'll probably get that done hopefully this week. And then we'll start playing things for them. In the meantime, though, we are playing music for them. Purple figures he'll just dive in head first here, because why would we bother with all the effort of nursing when we can just put our head straight in? I'm going to see if he's going to maybe fall asleep if I put him over here. You might use the paper towels as a pillow and just go to sleep. So those are the things that are starting to happen. The window for socialization is very short. It's from week 3 to week 16 at the most. Really, it's to week 12, but up to 16, you've still got some space there. Your puppy is a sponge at this period of time. Everything that happens to them between now and week 16 is retained in their memory. So if a puppy is treated poorly in this time, they don't ever forget that. They may forgive it, but they're not going to ever forget it. If a puppy learns that people are here and provide them with comfort and love, and they learn to trust, they'll never forget that either. They can be treated poorly in the future, but their basic feeling towards people will never change, in that they trust and believe in them. So we're making all sorts of concerted efforts to make sure that your puppy has nothing but positive, loving experiences, so that they believe in us, they trust us, and they develop that bond with us. And then they'll be all set when they go home with you to continue on as you build an even stronger bond with them, the one that's going to last for the rest of their lives. Hey, don't. And when we have somebody who's squirming away like this, we just figure out what it is that they're looking for, what it is that they're seeking. Purple's had every opportunity to do everything. His tummy's full, but he's still moving around with his nose. Pink is also trying to get in here. I'm going to move the milker now, otherwise we're going to have a wreck and it's going to spill. Green is finished, even though he's holding on for dear life. Let's just take that away from him. I'll give that to Reynolds. So when they finished nursing out of it, we take the formula out and then we sterilize it between each use. Same as the pacifiers, we sterilize them a few times during the day. We don't leave them in here like this because they'd end up with pee and poo all over them. So we take them out and we only offer them to them when we're here supervising them. And now Green's still showing me that he thinks he wants something in his mouth, so we'll offer him the pacifier and see if that's what he needs. Now if you look at yellow on my legs there, where he looks like he's trying to dig a hole and making a noise, he's showing you an example of activated sleep. And activated sleep is the fancy word for what looks like puppies having a dream when they sleep. And that's just how they develop their muscle tone and coordination, so they can do what Pink and Silver are doing, or Purple are doing there, which is starting to play. So this is a week of all sorts of things happening with the puppies. They're initiating play, they're interacting with each other, their tails are wagging now, they're very responsive to us, they're responsive to our voices. As soon as we come in the room, when the door is open, the air pressure changes, they're already, what? When the light goes on, if we have to turn the light on, they're, oh. And when we say, hey babies, how's it going? Oh, the people are here. And they run all over the place and generally go to the bathroom everywhere. That's, once they wake up, of course, is when they immediately have to go to the bathroom. Something to remember for when you take your puppy home. But they do associate us with food, which is, of course, their main, the main thing that they are interested in satisfying right now is their hunger. So that's what they've been up to this week. You can see they have a new enlarged area. So we took them out of the whelping box because it was too small for them. They have more room to run around. They can see out. They are in our doodle den, which we finally are getting organized from our move. Today I'm going to do some more organizing, and our 3 dogs will start to be fed in here. Right now they've been fed in our laundry room in the house, but I want to bring them in here so that the puppies start seeing them all the time. They don't have a mom to see, so it's really important that they see a big dog and become comfortable with that. Now, a few questions that have come up is, so what are the differences between puppies who are hand-raised and puppies who are raised by their mom? Well, you know, probably the biggest one out of everything is hand-raised orphaned puppies are much more independent. They are much better at problem solving. They are much better at self-soothing. Those are the main differences. Health-wise, behavior-wise, you're not going to see any big difference. You may have a puppy who suckles for life. They may suck on a toy when they're going to sleep. They may need or suck on their bed, but that happens with puppies who have a mom. Peanut, our old girl, she's 11 now. She was raised with her mom, and indeed she was with her mom because her mom lived with her, so she was always with her mom. She suckles on everything every time she goes to sleep. Ripple and Spirit were both raised by their moms. Neither of them do suckle, but it's really, really a common thing for them to do. So when I say you may see that in your hand-raised puppy, you're just as likely to see it in a puppy who's raised with their mom. Generally, it's going to be the independence and the ability to self-soothe and problem solve that are the 3 most primary qualities that are stronger in a hand-raised puppy. They also are quite a bit more attuned to people. Because people are their source of everything, they become very, very aware of our emotions and how we're feeling. And now, right now, these guys, the only thing that they probably get from us is, man, they're sleep deprived. We're pretty excited because we've backed off on the number of feedings. We've moved now to every 3.5 hours during the day. That's from 7 a.m. until midnight. And then overnight, we bump that up to a 4-hour interval. So that makes life a lot nicer for us. The puppies are able to handle it, but part of that is because they have the milking station there, and also because they are eating the pablum. So we just continue to monitor that. If something were to change and their weight gains changed, or they were crying before the 4 hours was up, then we would immediately go back to the 3.5 hours. And next week they'll probably go down to even fewer feedings. They'll be eating more, and we'll start to introduce some real food to them. Now, Beck gave me some puppy mousse from Royal Canin, or Canine, however you say it. It is high calorie. I may give them some, but again, it's not a food. I enjoy feeding dogs. It's all synthetics and very little actual food. So I'd rather use the canned foods that we use. I have some here. They're actually both from New Zealand, and they're pretty high quality in the real ingredients. They don't have a bunch of other things added into them. So I'd rather give them that. They're too young for us to feed them raw yet. Their immune systems just aren't developed enough for that to really work. Plus, they don't have any teeth. So even if I have a really mushy one, they don't have any teeth, and so that makes it pretty tricky to be eating raw food. So that won't start until they're about 5 weeks old. So we still have another 2 weeks before that begins, right around when you come for your puppy family visit. So that's our update on all the puppies now. So what we're going to do now is go through them all. We'll give you their weights, give you a little look at them up close, and then we're going to put down the dish of pablum, and I'll show you the disaster that is feeding puppies solid food. Reynold, can you just pass me the chart, please, for their weights? We weigh them on the first feeding of the morning every day, so that they're always weighed at the same time. And I can tell you that we got great news in that everybody is now broken the 1 kilogram barrier. So I'm pretty proud of them for that. So first on our list is Red Collar Girl. She's over here. And so part of the way we make sure that they remember that humans are good is we give them a little nudge before we pick them up, so we don't startle them. Sometimes Orange will growl at me when I pick him up, because even though I give him a nudge, he is a pretty heavy sleeper. So here's Miss Red Collar Girl, our beautiful little ebony princess. And you can see already she's got beautiful eye contact, even though her eyes are not fully, there we go. They were still a little dopey from sleep. She immediately is looking to me. She hears my voice. She responds to me. She's an extraordinarily responsive girl. She has a fiery streak of independence, and she does not hesitate to let you know if something is not going completely according to her plan. And Miss Red is now 1.29 kilograms. It's a good girl. That's a very good girl. And she'll show you later how very skilled she is at eating the pablum. Next we have Yellow Collar Boy. So he is the smallest in the litter, and he just today made it to 1 kilogram. This is the one I was telling you about. He's got this tremendous need to suckle, but he's absolutely bound and determined not to take advantage of the milking bar. And you can see he too has that beautiful eye contact. He knows it's me. He's looking to me. He knows that I always provide something or other to go in his mouth. And so that's why he's trying to lick my nose, thinking that might be something to put in his mouth. So that's our beautiful Yellow Collar Boy, just breaking that 1 kilogram barrier. And now, I'm not sure who it was, but somebody went pee here. These pee pads are like kids' diapers. They have a gel core in them. So even though they've peed here, it's not wet. It's absorbed. It becomes dry pretty much instantly. Now after yellow is our big bruiser of a guy, Mr. Orange. And we'll see if he'll growl at me when I pick him up here or if he's just going to go along with it. Oh no, he says, I'm okay this time. Yeah, it's fine. Mr. Orange, I love this fellow. He is so placid, so easygoing. He's just, yeah, whatever, man. I'm chill. I'm just a really cool dude. I'm just always relaxed. I'm aware of you. I'm going to give you great eye contact. You'll see every one of them has this strong eye contact, and that is because they are solely focused on Reynold and I as their source of everything. Oh, have I got your special spot there, making your foot go? Mr. Bruiser here continues to be the biggest by far. He is 1.47 kilograms, and it's all love. It's just the sweetest fellow ever. After Orange, we have Pink Collar Girl, who's right here. Hi, honey. Pink Collar Girl, oh, she's an active little one. She's got quite the nice little personality. She's a busy little girl. She has all sorts of things that she wants to do every day. She loves to interact with everybody and be part of everything. I'm getting all their little spots making their feet go today. And she's got lots of kisses all the time. Yes, she does. And she just loves the milk bar. Oh, yes. And Miss Pink is now 1.09 kilograms. Woohoo for Miss Pink. Yay! After Pink, we have Silver Collar. And Silver Collar is over here. He's sleeping it off because he's probably got a big whopping full tummy from all of that milking station time that he's had. This little guy, oh, he's a cutie. He is fairly quiet. He's not reserved at all, but he's very, very keen on doing what he thinks it is you are trying to get him to do. Of course, he's just a baby, so he doesn't really know how to figure that out. But he's always paying attention, being observant of what it is that you're telling him. And even though he doesn't always do what I think I would like him to do, he is aware that I'm asking him to do something and not do something. So Mr. Silver is same as Pink, 1.09. Those two have always been almost identical in their weights. After Silver is Green, who's right here. Green and Orange have the same coloring, but they are different in their size. Mr. Green, he is a big personality. He knows what he wants and he makes sure that he gets it. He's very attentive. He's very focused on food. Any opportunity to eat and you'll take it, yes. And Mr. Green is 1.08 kilograms. Then we've got Purple Collar Girl, and Purple Collar Girl is over here, I believe, in the corner. Hey, sweetie, come here. Ah, that girl. Good, or boy. I always call Purple a girl because normally purple collars are for girls. But since we had so many boys, we had to use a girl color. And Purple really is interchangeable. Mr. Purple, well, he is just the sweetest, very angelic, gentle kind of puppy, easygoing, nothing too much bothers him. He's pretty good about taking his medicine. He's pretty good about doing things like going and learning on the milking bar. Just generally all around a pretty nice, easygoing, mild-mannered guy. And he weighs 1.28. The day or two that he wasn't feeling well haven't impacted him in terms of his weight at all. And last but not least is this one here, upside down, Mr. Burgundy, who is also stuffed right full from his time at the milk station. I'm not going to disturb him. He looks so comfortable there. Mr. Burgundy, he's quite a character. He's a going concern. He's always running about wanting to make sure he's right in the middle of things. He likes to be the center of the family, and he loves to get kisses and be held. Really affectionate guy, just a super sweetie. And Mr. Burgundy is 1.02 kilograms. So now we're going to get their pablum. I'm just going to give Reynold back the sheet so we don't get pablum all over it, because you will see that in very short order everything will become quite disastrous. And we're just going to put it over in the corner here. Is this a good spot for the camera wise, Reynold? Is that okay? We'll put it there. Now it's in a dish like this, because they need to be able to access it, so we have a low lip on it. And then we also move it up over to the edge, because they'll try and eat the side of the dish. Now nobody may be interested because they did just have the milking station, but what we do is we just show them where it is. We let their noses do the work, put a bit on our finger, show it to them. Yep, see, Silver says, are you out of your mind? I'm so full, I couldn't eat another thing. But Yellow was not at the milking station. So we're going to take him and see if perhaps he'll be cooperative with this, since he's not cooperative with the milking station, and see if this helps to satisfy him. Oh yeah, he says maybe. I don't know. No, I don't really want any of that. Like I said, maybe nobody's going to be interested because they are all quite full. Come here, Orange. Everybody likes to go hide behind my chair. Nope, you're not interested, Mr. Yellow? Mr. Yellow is too difficult sometimes. There, what do you think? What do you think? They're also quite asleep. So we might not get any excitement from them here. Usually they're walking all through it and getting it all over me and them, having a great time licking it off of one another. Hey, Pinky. But they are obviously are all quite content in terms of their tummies for the moment. But you get the idea. So that's our video for today. We really hope you enjoyed it. We're really enjoying, even though we don't get to sleep, that part's not so fun, but we're really enjoying the time, the extra time we get to spend with these guys. They're a beautiful group of puppies, really happy with how they're doing, all their accomplishments. And if you have a chance and have time, if you can pop a comment in below here on our YouTube channel, that is always really very much appreciated. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm always happy to answer. You don't have to be one of the families getting a puppy from this litter to ask questions. We hope you enjoyed the video. We hope it was informative. And if you don't have time for a comment, we hope you have time for a thumbs up. And we'll see you all again next week when we have our week 4 update. And hopefully we are reduced in the number of times we get up during the night. That'll make Reynold and I both really happy. Thanks so much for watching. Hey, he's a good boy. Yeah, just a good boy.